No one's obviously trying to kill each other. So it's a different kind of fighting technique. We're divided. Kind of ridiculous. Why are we fighting? What are we doing? What are we doing, guys? Come on.
We're still friends, right?
Depends on how hard you hit me.
The great thing Marvel has done, instead of putting all the superheroes in this movie, they've been able to match the superheroes up pretty well.
Can you get him off me?
Even though everyone's fighting all at the same time, they have to obviously do like insular sort of fight moments.
This can't seem to miss.
Well, first time for everything.
Multiple contusions detected.
Yeah, I detected that too.
We've been spending months basically prevising it, and basically where we'd go in on the computer and just plan the attack. And one of the complications about it is like just the sheer number of heroes you have fighting each other, finding those moments that we both wanted to see, and getting every hero a chance through the course of the film to kind of interact with each other and fight with each other. That was probably one of the hardest parts.
What just happened?
The amount of prep going into that sequence was more than anything I've ever seen or done. That's the fight that people have been talking about in the comics for years of what would happen if this character fought this character. Well, we had to kind of give answers to that.
When you have a splash panel and you have a bunch of superheroes, go big or go home, right? And the idea was, what new trick can we do that will potentially be a showstopper so that we can achieve all these guys from stopping one another?
Throw it at this. Now! Oh, come on! Oh, man, I thought it was a water truck.
Paul Rudd is very funny. And you bring him to a giant superhero fight, you could see the other side going, all right, well, he brought an ant.
On my signal, run like hell. And if I tear myself in half, don't come back for me.
He's gonna tear himself in half? You sure about this, Scott?
I do it all the time. I mean, once, in a lab, then I passed out.
Okay, tiny dude is big now. He's big now.
Suddenly Paul Rudd, perhaps for the first time, is terrifying.
That's a power that you've never seen in the Marvel Universe, and I think, again, gives our film a scope that's going to be unexpected.
Okay, anybody on our side hiding any shocking and fantastic abilities they'd like to disclose? I'm open to suggestions.
In a scene where there's so much going on, you need something new, something bigger and crazier. Yes! To kind of put the final stamp on it and go into the rest of the movie, and that seemed like a good way to go.
Does anyone have any orange slices?
We didn't want to fall into a structure where the Avengers move into a conflict mode with one another, then sort of repair that and fight another bad guy. It was very important to us that the structure of the film be such that the Act 3 climax was between the actual Avengers themselves.
We are introducing another villain. And he's a very different kind of villain. He was not responsible for the events that lead up to Civil War, but who is fanning the flames and who is utilizing this conflict to his own advantage.
The fake doctor is actually Colonel Helmut Zemo, Sokovian intelligence.
It was very important for us to give Zemo a valid point of view, like we were giving. That was sort of, the heart of how we constructed the narrative and the storytelling in this movie, is that every character has some validity to our point of view. And we've always been more excited by villains who do have a value. We've always found them scarier and more threatening than villains you can write off as crazy or unhinged. And so Brule has this amazing ability as an actor to hold together with somebody who's very dangerous and scary, while at the same time being grounded in a very relatable human emotions and experience. And I think that's what's so exciting and dangerous about Zemo in this movie.
I think
he is both of those things.
What was really important to us was that he had no superpowers. He doesn't. He's a human being.
I knew I couldn't kill them. More powerful men than me have tried. But if I could get them to kill each other.
What we liked about the idea of Daniel Bruhl was, here's a grounded character in the Marvel Universe reacting to the idea that the Avengers are able to go wherever they want and fight bad guys, but at a cost. And he's the very human face to that cost. And I think bringing his perspective in the movie was really important because it's not just about what other superheroes think about each other, it's what the common man thinks about the idea of superheroes in their everyday lives.
You can't say he's bad, you can't say he's just the bad, he's the villain, you know. He has his very understandable reasons for the things he does. And that's what attracted me about the part, that it's not a one-dimensional villain who is just mean. My character is clever enough to know that nobody is strong enough to kill them, nobody is strong enough to destroy them. So he comes to the idea and to the conclusion that, you know, they should really damage themselves.
The Avengers have made mistakes, and he's a product of one of their mistakes. So he's really a very allegorical villain in this movie. He's just, he's their sins come to call on them. He's methodical and intelligent and passionate about his goal.
And what's really interesting about him as an antagonist is that he's able to do something that Loki and that Malekith has never been able to do, which is to rip the Avengers apart almost without throwing a single punch.
So how does it feel? Spend all that time, all that effort, and to see it fail so spectacularly. Did it.
As soon as, frankly, we shot the scene with Zola in Winter Soldier, I had that fact in my head that Steve's best friend killed Tony's parents. What the hell are we gonna do with it? Are we gonna ignore that? You know, that's crazy. But it's so apocalyptic if you let it out that it did seem like, well, we might just have to not tell anybody, you know, because it'll just blow the Avengers up.
Right.
And then when it came time and we reached the agreement, like, let's do Civil War, then it suddenly seemed like we can use the atom bomb we've got.
Right. It's no longer a liability, now
Yeah.
it's a benefit.
We spent one movie and a TV show saving Howard's life. Now we're just going to smack him around again. And Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, is about to reveal his old personal acquaintance, Howard Stark, thereby setting off a chain of events that can only end in, dare we say, civil war.
I thought about this moment forever where I just say, Bucky has just completely been more of an influence in my life that I could have imagined, and not in a good way. You know, I didn't always handle both beastie. Did you? No. Yes. It's the perfect timing to have that bit of a shocker in Act 3 so that you're like, all right, we thought the movie was going this way. No, it isn't. It's about to get so trippy.
The worst thing that can happen in this movie, the darkest moment, the end of Act 2, is all the Avengers fighting each other. We're not gonna have anything bigger than that. That's crazy, and it's epic. So let's do that. It's the worst thing that can happen. They all fight each other, and then the third act gets smaller, personal. And, you know, it's sad, because I mean, if this works right, Tony and Steve beating the crap out of each other is emotional.
He's my friend. So was I.
The level of satisfaction either of them can have keeps flopping, you know. Steve wins, but then he's got to put the shield down. He got Bucky, but who the hell is he?
At that point, if I'm the audience, hopefully I'm going to say, all right, there's no way back from this. The whole universe is about to explode.
That shield doesn't belong to you. You don't deserve it. My father made that shield.
Russo's, you know, they make human stories with a superhero feel, as opposed to a superhero movie with, you know, human touches. That's what makes it so great. There's no right, there's no wrong. There's no clear evil villain on either side of this. It's just a matter of who you agree with.
There's times in your life when you must make a choice. And that should always be who you are. You should take a stand for what you believe in. And I think this is what these superheroes do. It does divide them, but they do take a stand.
And the question is, will they be able to stick together as the heroic team that they are, or will this division tear them apart completely?
But it's great seeing all those people suited up and knowing that we're tackling a story that a lot of fans want to see, and a story that's going to jump off for a next chapter in the Marvel world.
Well, that's what's exciting about Civil War, is that you have the opportunity to tear down this family unit just prior to their darkest hour. You're giving the audience a great distance to travel to see if they actually can pull it back together to defeat what the universe will ultimately consider its biggest threat ever.
No matter what, I promise you, if you need us, if you need me, I'll be there.